What is good? What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? We are here tonight to talk about Summer Games Fest, the after show. We did the predictions last week. This week, we're going to be doing the fallout from Summer's Game Fest. And, you know, depending on what you were looking for coming out of Summer Game Fest, this thing either hit or it didn't. All right. Now, personally, I thought that the Kingdom Hearts 4 announcement that we got at Summer Games Fest, I thought was amazing. I mean, to not only get Star Wars confirmed, but also to get an MCU world confirmed and to find out. Yes?
Jesker, when this was happening, was your carbon monoxide detector going off?
I may or may not have been using illegal substances.
I was going to say, because I'm pretty sure no Kingdom Hearts 4 at the Summer Game Fest.
Of course it was. I saw it, man. And they announced it was coming to not only PS5 and Xbox Series X and Series S, but it was also coming to old school Xbox One. It was coming to PS4. It was coming to Switch 2, PlayStation 6, and Xbox, the new Xbox Infinity, which also got announced. Didn't you see that?
Yeah, that is accurate. They would make a Kingdom Hearts, but put it still on PS4 and limit its capability. Then you're like, God damn it.
Yeah, it's going to be on everything. It's going to be great.
Game devs like to do that.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great, man. There was a great announcement. The Final Fantasy IX remake also got announced. And then Final Fantasy VIII remake, which no one saw coming, that got announced as well. And yeah, I was a pretty happy boy. If you were a Square Enix fan, you were eating good coming out of Summer's Game Fest, right?
Yeah, and then there was the new Lego game got announced, and Marvel vs. Capcom 4.
Yeah, Half-Life 3 for the people who care about that.
All 4 Half-Life fans that are still alive.
Yeah, the new Smash Brothers got announced. Called Smash Brothers, they getting smashed, a little risque. Okay, Nintendo.
The Leisure Suit Larry is a pre-order bonus.
Yeah, man, it's amazing, bro. I mean, it was some good stuff. Some really good stuff, man. I was very happy. I mean, it's not like the lack of Kingdom Hearts news has broken me or anything.
Hey, you just got you just got Kingdom Hearts news.
7 screenshots.
You were happy about him at the time.
What has Square done for me lately?
you're just like I got fed. I'm still hungry though. It's like, no, you are fine. You will eat when the food is ready.
Bro, I remember the days a long time ago on forums that I don't know if some of these forums are still going or not, where every month Japanese magazines would have like a Kingdom Hearts update. Like you'd get confirmed new worlds, you get like Birth by Sleep screenshots, you'd get 358 over 2 days screenshots coming out of Famitsu and Jump magazine, and I miss those good old days, man.
Well, because that was back when there was like a game every like year, 2 years, right? Like
that was back when they had 3 games in development simultaneously.
Yeah.
They
Like
had
we would be getting stuff if the mobile game didn't get canceled.
dude, that was such an awesome time. They had Coded, they had Birth by Sleep, and they had 358 over 2 days, all in production at the same time. They all got announced at the same time. I remember I think it was a Tokyo Game Show where that they all got announced, and people were expecting like a new Kingdom Hearts game to be announced. No one thought we were going to get 3 at one time. What happened to those days?
This time you get nothing. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
You take your chocolate factory showed up your ass, Willy Wonka. I want my Kingdom Hearts news. I'm sick of this shit. I want it every month on the month until this game comes out.
Willy Wonka World and Kingdom Hearts would go pretty hard.
Fuck it. Fuck it, dude. Which version?
I'm partial to the Depp version because that's what I grew up with. Never seen the Gene Wilder version.
You've never seen the Gene Wilder version?
No. I've picked it up basically through osmosis at this point, but no, like I was the Depp one had come out like what 2004 or 5 or something like that. So yeah, that's what I grew up with and
Wizard.
What I preferred.
The Gene Wilder version is a superior film.
No, well, the Depp version is closer to the book.
Yeah, it may be.
Like the Gene Wilder one is Gene Wilder doing shtick. Like
it's still a better movie.
You know that Roald Dahl watched it and was ashamed, and then he died sad, and so then the family worked to make a proper adaptation. That was the Depp version.
What the fuck? Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. Roald Dahl did not like Gene Wilder's take on Willy Wonka because he's doing shtick. He's not Willy Wonka.
But it's so iconic. I mean that was like the Willy Wonka for decades. Look at this guy. Says he's not gonna hop on, and then he hops on. What's up, Rubik Hang?
What's up, Wizard? You gotta watch the original Gene Wilder version. What is wrong with you? Stop what you're doing and watch the original Gene Wilder version, man.
You have known me for months now, Ruby. You should know I have not seen many movies. That's like the consistent fact.
Oh my god, I have to kidnap you, and we're gonna have to watch the original Jurassic Park. What else haven't you watched?
Hey, I've seen Jurassic Park, but it's been a while.
Okay. Well, okay, you got some points there.
I'd probably appreciate it more now because I'm older.
Did you see E.T.?
I saw E.T. It was a long time ago too. I got to rewatch that.
Did you see?
I don't remember E.T., man.
Y'all don't remember E.T.?
I know I watched it, but I don't remember it.
I feel like it doesn't hold up.
Well, it's not a fast-paced movie. Like it's a slow burn.
Yeah.
And it's canon to Star Wars.
It's canon to Star Wars.
Yeah, that's right.
Movie, also, like, it's Star Wars is also a movie in E.T., but the race is in the prequels, so it's confusing. Because remember, a kid is dressed up as Yoda.
Yeah, and E.T. recognizes, like he's like, this looks like that one dude from my galaxy. Like, yeah,
I know that race feature, but also, like, how does that make sense though? Like, unless E.T.
God playing a cruel joke.
It was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
But then how do we make movies about it? It's not in our universe. Like,
no. I mean, it's in our universe, but it's in a different galaxy.
No, you know what I'm saying though. Like, there's a kid dressed up as Yoda. That means the movies came out and existed. But then also, E.T. happens in the Star Wars universe,
right?
Meaning, which also takes place in the Indiana Jones universe as well.
So, the way this makes sense is that ancient aliens from the Star Wars galaxy came to Earth and passed down the story of the Skywalkers to people a long time ago. And just like how Maximilian Pegasus rediscovered the game of Duel Monsters, George Lucas rediscovered the story of the Skywalkers.
Does that mean that in future, a grown-up Elliot watched Daisy Ridley go, "My name is Ray Skywalker"?
Yes.
And he was like, "What is this?"
Wait, so George Lucas exists in his own work?
No. What I'm saying is Star Wars is a true story. And George Lucas is retelling it.
How does George Lucas and George Lucas's son exist in the Star Wars universe and in their universe? Because they're characters in the story.
Well, see, what it is that George Lucas actually discovered time travel. And so he was able to travel back in time to a galaxy far, far away.
Anyway, I have seen all the I didn't see Last Jedi.
You don't have
Force
to.
Awakens and I saw Rise of Skywalker. I was laughing through all of Rise of Skywalker. That movie's so bad.
Yo, it's fucking shit, dog.
I haven't watched it.
I was so checked out at that point anyway with the franchise. I was just like let's just enjoy like the fact that it's like all the plot holes and shit, like the the dagger map thing is still probably the worst thing I've ever seen,
bro.
Just because the idea of like the rubble matching exactly how, so
bro. Stupid. How does an ancient Sith dagger match up to a relatively modern creation in the Death Star? That makes no fucking sense.
It points like you drag the little arrow around and makes them like you have to be looking at that exact angle, any more to the left or the right, and you're in a complete different part of the ship.
That makes no fucking sense.
And then C-3PO gets his mind erased for like a half an hour.
And then like when Kylo finds Palpatine on Exegol, the explanation that we get for how he came back is the dark side is a pathway to many abilities, some considered to be unnatural. And it's like, are you going to go in depth on what those abilities are? No.
Like, and the message that got sent out to the galaxy was in fucking Fortnite.
Hold on, let me mod Cynic. Cynic's whining in the chat. I got a mod Cynic.
Yeah, because his alt account wasn't enough.
He's on his. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, everything with Finn was just a waste. The space horses was stupid.
And you're a mod.
Finn should have just been a Jedi.
Bro, they should have
make a Guntley's character.
Bro, it's
or the leader of the stormtroopers in any way, like something significant.
Yeah. What a waste.
Phasma shouldn't have been killed in Last Jedi. Should have been like a reoccurring villain.
That's a white people's drug, Cynic.
Bro,
I need crap.
I don't know, man. Cynic, get your ass on here. I don't know, man. Like, how do you take something that should have been easy to do relatively in the sequel trilogy? That should have been almost impossible to fuck up, and then you fuck it up.
Yeah, and kill the brand, like Star Wars. Like Andor is clinging, like Andor is like holding Star Wars like up to like not fall over. Like it's putting all of its like well, you're not going down. Like it's just like because otherwise Star Wars is just so like lost so much momentum and
it's lost its identity. It doesn't know what it wants to be. Dude, I mean, all you had to do, you had to nail three things. One, give us one last adventure with Luke, Han, and Leia. Two, have them properly pass the baton on to the next generation. And 3, just don't contradict what Lucas set up. And it fails at every single one of those things.
3 times over.
It's like, I guess Anakin wasn't the fucking chosen one. The prequels are kind of,
it was
pointless.
Rey. Didn't you hear Hayden Christensen / Matt Letcher, right? His voice say like, "Bring balance to the Force, Rey," as I once did.
I don't think the ancient ass Jedi prophecy was about a dude bringing balance to the Force for 30 years. In the grand scheme of things, that's not a big fucking deal.
They never should have done the whole Force First Order being the remnants of the Empire. Like, it shouldn't have done any of that. They needed to make just a new thing, but Disney wanted to like remake New Hope so bad and make everything their new thing, and like we have stormtroopers again, and we need to have a Vader again, and all this stuff.
Or what they should have done is, honestly, because the Rebel Alliance was the underdog in the last trilogy, make the remnants of the Empire the underdog in the new trilogy.
Yeah. Or just adopt the extended universe that they fucking made non-canon.
I mean, yeah, they could have brought in the Yuuzhan Vong. I mean, hell, honestly, they kind of did that with Rise of Skywalker, because it's basically a worse version of Dark Empire.
I'm just vomiting out talking points from other Star Wars fans. I'm not a Star Wars fan.
Dark Empire was a storyline where Palpatine came back in a clone body and tried to resurrect the Empire. And that's basically episode 9, except episode 9 doesn't explain shit, whereas Dark Empire actually explains shit. And also Dark Empire took place like relatively soon after episode 6. It wasn't 30 years later.
I even don't think that something like that should happen that soon, too. Like, it's a delicate balance, being like, how soon do you resurrect Palpatine for him to do that, versus like, because I feel like I don't hate that they brought Palpatine back 30 years later. I don't hate it, but I would have preferred him be like in a younger body that was like, I'm the peak of Emperor Palpatine because I'm younger or whatever. I'm
old Palpatine's knowledge and wisdom in a younger body.
Yeah.
So basically Terra Xehanort.
Have him, yeah, Terra Xehanort. It haven't been like a twist, right? Have him be the new like guy who's rising up in the ranks, who's rebuilding the Empire. It's like, who is this man? It's like, I am.
Ooh, that would have been.
I am Palpatine.
I like that.
I'm a clone.
I like that. I like that. Yeah. Well, there was
I was raised on Camino by droids, and then I learned my true, parentage, my true thing, and my destiny to,
Yeah, Mace Windu was pretty cool.
Ruby's just like, what can I add to this?
Who's the only black guy in the galaxy?
Bro,
Mace Windu was cool. People keep trying to bring him back, but
keep him dead.
One of the theories out there was Snoke was Windu.
Snoke was Windu? Get out.
That was legit a theory.
I could see it, but he's too white. Like, it was a black guy.
Oh yeah, you know what the theory said? Well, when he took Palpatine's Force lightning, it like charred his skin to where it was like
him?
Yeah, like ashen, like white ashes and stuff, and it's like
it robbed him of his blackness.
What? Yeah, like Palpatine stole his blackness. Like what?
I steal the darkness of even your skin, Master Windu.
Now I am the darkness.
There is no darkness that I cannot control.
I have removed your inward past, Master Windu.
Unlimited power.
No, the biggest theory out there for Snoke is that he was Darth Plagueis.
I mean, I saw that just the biggest theory is he was clone. That's what they just went with. I don't think that was what they were going to do.
No, I don't think that was the plan at all.
That was a course correct.
I don't think they had a plan. Which, I mean,
Jar Jar Binks should have been a Death Lord or whatever.
Did you see the new Lego special that Disney put out?
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I did see that they did that.
Is Jar Jar Binks the Death Lord guy?
Yeah, it's like the whole galaxy gets mixed up. Palpatine's like the Jedi Grandmaster, and Jar Jar's like the Sith Lord.
Oh, so it's just opposite or whatever the fuck.
More or less.
Yeah.
You have like Darth Ray.
They added him in Fortnite too.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Oh my god, man, the freaking sequel.
The person who originally made Darth Jar Jar, right? Like it's one of those things that just someone came up with, and then some random fan, and then just all these years later, and then they get put in the canon stuff, or not canon stuff, but official stuff.
Yeah, I mean they're officially acknowledging it as a thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, enough Star Wars talk. Let's talk some games, boys. You know what? Me and Wizard were talking about this in the pre-show. We'll talk about the Xbox handheld first.
Xbox still making consoles?
They're making a handheld, man.
Yeah.
I'm actually quite surprised.
There's even some Silk Song over there. You can see it happen.
Is this brand still alive, or is it gonna die? Like, where we stand on this at this point?
Oh, what, Silk Song?
No,
Xbox.
Xbox.
I mean, like back on my channel, we had the eulogy, right? Like it was over. They were moving all their stuff to PlayStation, and it was like you're done. It's it's over. You're washed. But then they're like, nah, we're still making a console, and we got a handheld coming. We did a segment on this, that the rumors were they're doing a handheld, and then here it is. And so it's like all right, handheld gaming back. Everyone thought it was dead, but they're slowly bringing them back.
Yeah, it was never
dead. Someone thought handheld gaming was dead. What? It was
never. Yeah, it was never dead. It was just hybridized.
Oh, yeah, the Switch, could be a console too. It was just, I'm talking more like the small, like the PSPs and all that stuff, like the Vitas. Like Nintendo always was doing handhelds, but the idea of like Sony wasn't doing a handheld, and then now they're doing like their weird
there's just not multiple handhelds like the fucking Netgear or what the fuck it was called, Game Gear and all that.
Yeah, there's no just like, here's the handheld.
Game Boy is shit. Yeah,
it's handheld games like your DS games, your Game Boy Advance games. Your
PSP is still one of the greatest.
It's
still one of the greatest handhelds ever put out there.
Oh my god, I love the PSP.
Because most people were just like, well, if we're gonna spend all this money to make a handheld game, we'll just put it on a phone. We'll just make a mobile game, and then fill it with a bunch of ads and stuff.
Mobile fucking suck.
Man, yeah, I'm tired of smartphone. I'm tired of the gacha games. I'm tired. Listen, can we keep it real for a second? Can we just all be honest? Can we just get down into our feelings? No bullshit. The people that have come to smartphone gaming, they're not gamers.
Yeah, I can't. I would have. Well, I'm gonna have to disagree with that. I can't speak on that.
Yeah, I can't really speak on that either. I mean, there are some mobile games that I'm kind of interested in, but they're all basically waifu fucking gooner bait games.
That's not a real game, Ruby. That's not a real game. That's sex appeal pretending to be a game.
What about fuck, I can't think. What's that fucking? What about the guys that play like Call of Duty on their fucking phone?
Yeah, you can do a lot. You can do a lot on the phone. Like there's Fortnite on the phone, Minecraft.
But like those Call of Duty games are like the old games, aren't they?
Yeah, and then there's the emulators.
Are they?
I'm talking about games specifically that are coming out specifically for smartphones, not emulators or things like. That's not what I'm talking about.
I mean, I don't.
So Blue Archive.
I don't know what that is, but Sure.
Blue Archives, that Gooner game, man. Gotta check it out. Big titty
Why
waifus.
did you say just like Royal Match or something? Like, why you gotta go with like?
Oh, because it actually looks fun.
Virus seducing like goon game.
Because
it actually looks fun because it's like a little shoot 'em up game or whatever, where you can see the girl shoot the gun and she's shooting targets and shit. I'm like, this guy's actually kind of fun.
Well, so I can only think of maybe a couple of games that are like I would consider to be legit gamer games. What was that one that was put out by the creator of Final Fantasy? That was originally on iOS.
I
mean,
was it a Final Fantasy game?
No, but it was made by the creator of Final Fantasy.
I think I know what you might be talking about. I just don't know. Was it Symphony something?
Like Fantasian
role-playing game developed by Mistwalker.
Yes.
Fantasian Neo Dimension.
Yes. That I would consider to be a legitimate game that started out. It started out on iOS, so Apple smartphones, iPhone. And then they brought it to other platforms now. But it started out there. So that I would consider to be like a legitimate game released on a smartphone.
Yeah, but then it left the thing, so I don't know if I'd count it as far as like, because then it's like you're like, I don't know, it's like you're just like only picking the one that
so because Kingdom Hearts has left the PS2, it's no longer considered a PS2 game.
No, I mean like it's like saying that because Kingdom Hearts has left the PS2, Kingdom Hearts isn't a retro franchise or something, like because it's like, or because it was on the PS1 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, when they brought it to other platforms, they added voice acting and stuff and things that they couldn't do.
That's why I'm saying like you can't be like, that one's one of the good ones. And it's like, well, because it's a console game. Like it's different. It's a completely different thing.
It wasn't made for consoles.
Yeah, but it's on consoles now, and it's a different
game. But it wasn't made for consoles. That's my point. Like
when we talk mobile games and like the mobile gaming market, we're meaning your Bejeweleds, your Royal Matches, your Candy Crushes, your
I don't consider that
your Strike Force.
None of those are real games.
I'm just saying that's like
none.
They count. I'm just saying.
None of those are real games.
In fact, now you might not consider people who play a bunch from gamers, but those are games. Those are mobile games. They are video games.
They're not hardcore enough for me.
I used to play Strike Force a lot back in the day, but mobile games just kill your phone battery.
Oh God, yeah, dude. I know when I was playing like Union Cross and Dark Road and stuff. Yeah, like it drains your battery like a motherfucker. Well, see, even something like that, even something like Union Cross and Dark Road, they're in a weird place because on the one hand, they're like they have like a dedicated.
I like Kingdom Hearts.
Well, they have like a dedicated story. They're like trying to be serious, but on the other hand, they're also gotcha games, and it's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, am I meant to take this seriously? Am I not meant to take this seriously? You want me to take this seriously, but you don't treat it seriously. So what's happening?
I mean, there are mobile games, and that's just what it is, and they count. They're video games.
They'll be real video games when they remake them for a console.
They won't. They're never going to do that.
They have to, man. You can't even play them now.
You are going to get a version that just is cheery telling you what happened, and that's it. And it's going to be an hour long, and it's going to be packaged with Kingdom Hearts 4.
I don't want cheery talking down to me like that.
They'd be like, and then you, the player, met fucking, what's the scarf kid's name?
Ephemer?
Ephemer, and you met Ephemer, and then you did this, and then the Book of Prophecies, and the darkness, and there's actually multiple darknesses, or they're one darkness. Who cares? And Ventus is here for some reason. And then there's there's a data town, and then there's not. And
bro, Ephemer is Xehanort's grandfather. Ain't that some shit? I mean, really think about it. Like, he showed up to help out Sora in the Keyblade graveyard. Whoa, what was that?
Was that Ruby?
Whoa, what was that?
Was that Ruby?
Mute him, for the love of God.
Mute him, for the love of God.
Not me, I muted myself. You?
Was it me?
Couldn't have been me because I've been muted.
Yeah, but there's like a lot of feedback coming from you.
Oh.
It must have been Ruby then.
Yeah. Ruby, you got your headphones in?
He's using his like phone or something. He's like,
oh, that's why. Yeah, that's what it is.
The cord must have got unplugged.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There it is again. All right.
Hold up.
Is it you? Who's doing it? Is it me? Can't be me. I got my headphones on.
Yeah, it can't be me. I've got my headphones on too. What?
I think it's Ruby. I think it's just his speakers picking up his microphone.
Yeah, that might be it, man. Anyways, what were we talking about?
We were talking about Kingdom Hearts, but we shouldn't be. We should get back.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we were talking about Ephemer being Xehanort's grandfather. Yeah, basically he fucked up his grandson's plan by helping out Sora.
That scene, I love that scene so much when the command thing is filled with all the usernames from Union Cross. That's so cool.
Dude, I mean, he should have just looked at Sora and said, "Hey, kill my great grandson."
That hasn't been revealed yet.
Which I don't know, man. You got to wonder who did he bang?
How was he even there though? Like, was that his ghost?
Probably.
Why is he a kid then? He grew old, didn't he?
Why is Hayden Christensen Force Ghost Anakin?
Because that was the last of his like his light or whatever. His good side of the Force.
I don't know. Maybe Ephemer became evil as shit, and the last time he was good is when he was a kid.
Never should have changed that, though. That was the Hayden Christensen. Because if you watch them in proper order, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, you get confused. You're like, who's that? I know there are people who say you stop at 5, then you go 1, 2, 3, and then back to 6. But
that's my preferred order.
It's just
like if I was going to introduce somebody to Star Wars, I would say watch 4 and 5, then watch the prequels, then watch 6, because 6 is enhanced by the prequels.
But it ruins the Leia twist, though. 3 ruins the Leia twist.
Yeah, but it's not that big of a twist. It's not like the Vader twist. It's not like the Vader twist.
You still have that moment when it's like, oh, it's the second one, and then Padme goes Leia, then everyone goes like, what? Leia's sister,
Well, I mean, Leia was never originally intended to be his sister.
I know. I'm just saying that, like, when you're watching, and then 6 is like, oh, who's the other Skywalker, right?
Yeah, Leia was just supposed to be. I mean, she was supposed to be just totally unrelated to Luke. She was. The way it was supposed to work out is that originally Luke was actually going to fall to the dark side, and then Luke's sister was going to come in and be like the big hero in like a episode 7 or whatever.
Imagine, dude, can you imagine if they did that nowadays? How like people would dunk on it so bad.
Oh God, yeah.
A main character like Luke, becoming the bad guy, and then the random as yet unseen girl character showing up and beating the problem, and then
Now, if they would have had Luke fall to if they would have revealed Leia to be his sister, and still had Luke fall to the dark side, and then have Leia pick up the mantle, people probably would have been a lot. They would have been fine with that.
I don't know if Luke falling to the dark side in any way would have worked.
Well, that's because that's because we know Episode 6 Luke as we know him now. Like Luke and
just episode 4 and 5 Luke. I'm like, I don't think that would have it would have had to jump through some hoops. It'd be like Harry Potter going evil.
Nah, man, because Luke had a strain of that dark side in him. The thing about Luke, I mean, the thing about Luke is that because he didn't fully conquer the dark side.
I'm saying.
He didn't fully conquer the dark side in him until he rejected Palpatine's offer.
And that's why but it's just I 4 and 5, Dagobah Luke would not follow the dark side and become evil.
Yeah, Ruby, that's coming from you, bro. You got to put in some headphones, dog. No, I know, the way you got to think about it, though, man, is that it's like poetry. It rhymes. All right. See, think about in episode 3 when Anakin killed Dooku. Palpatine was urging Anakin to kill Dooku, and Anakin listened and he killed Dooku. He followed Palpatine's orders. Skip to episode 6. It's the same situation. Palpatine's encouraging Luke to kill Vader, but this time Luke refuses, unlike his father.
It's a better story than him falling to the dark side also, and then a random unseen sister shows up, or Leia shows up and does it.
No, I agree with you. But
that's what I'm saying. I'm like George. If George was right not to go with that direction, that would be terrible.
No, I absolutely agree. I think it's a better story the way it's written. But now, I'm just saying, Luke.
I wasn't adverse to old Luke falling to the dark side.
Oh no, because to me, once Luke makes that decision to refuse Palpatine's offer, he's set. He should never regress after that.
Yeah, but the dark side does corrupt. Originally, it corrupted in totality. Once you let it in, it won.
Yeah, but he beat it.
That has since been changed, where you can't just beat it, right? But for the old lore, it was once it was in there, it was in there. But
nah, man, so, no, because Anakin overcame the dark side at the end. The whole message there is that Obi-Wan and Yoda were wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, people want to talk about in the prequels, why are the Jedi so arrogant? Why are the Jedi, why don't they comprehend the dark side? Why don't they see what Palpatine's doing? And it's because that's the point. The Jedi of that era were wrong.
Yeah.
You're not meant to.
Even Qui-Gon, though, he was more in the gray about it, at least.
Yeah, well, Qui-Gon is Ruby's just going chill in the chat. Ruby's been having audio issues like crazy, dog. But we appreciate you, Ruby. We appreciate you. My dogs are howling for some reason.
They like Ruby King on.
Yeah, they want Ruby King back. Ruby, come back. No, the whole thing is that the Jedi were wrong. You're not supposed to look at the prequel era Jedi and even Yoda and Obi-Wan in the originals and think, oh, they're right about everything they say is gospel. It's no, they lost their way. Qui-Gon is the Jedi. Qui-Gon is what a Jedi is supposed to be. Because Yoda and Windu, they followed the will of the Senate more than they did the will of the Force. They believed in their own dogma more than they believed in the Force. Yoda's a great, like Windu, like for all their talk about, not having attachments, Windu's attachment was to the Republic, was to that government. Like that was what he was attached to. Yoda was attached to the Jedi Order. Like Luke proved them wrong.
Yeah.
Because
then like we're getting stuff like with in the Jedi games, Cal Kestis to embrace the dark side for a little bit there, so we'll see where that goes in the third one. We might get more dark side stuff.
That's why I think it's such bullshit that Luke tried to kill Ben. It's like, dude, you believed Vader could be turned to the light side and you were right. Why would you try and kill Ben who hasn't done anything at that point?
They should have been like they should have had like dark side should have been like that's where you have like the dark side is in me, it was manipulating me or something. It was like giving him like voices in his head or something where it's like he was completely out of it, like he was slowly, and then he had to, then when he was away, he was fighting away, beating off the dark side that was inside of him. And then he's like, he's not so jaded when Rey finds him. It's just
I would have just had Luke off looking for some kind of ancient knowledge, or like trying to really, like, going on a spiritual journey, really trying to understand what balance in the Force means. Like I would have done something like that.
I didn't think he needed to make the school right away. Like I know that they were like, oh, it's like I felt like the Jedi would have been fine not coming back after Return of the Jedi. But
well, I think what they should have done is had him had like a small group. Like I know in like the Legends stuff, he builds the Jedi Order back up pretty significantly by the time period that the sequels would have taken place. But I think it should have been like a small band of basically like Luke and the 12 disciples, pretty much.
Yeah, even then, like I don't feel like the whole religion part of being a Jedi was really Luke's thing. Luke was more the knight part of being a Jedi. Like it would have been more like just like guys with swords, than it would have been like a religious devotion to the Force.
So Knights Templar.
Yeah, but even Knights Templar still had the religious stuff in there. Like,
yeah,
I just mean like like King Arthur type.
Yeah, you can't get away from it though, because I mean the Jedi is a religion.
Yeah, but that's why it's like, but the Jedi are gone. He's starting over at number 1, basically.
But it's still it's a reformed Jedi Order. It's not like something new. It's just the Jedi, but better.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that it's like like when he meets up with Ahsoka, like Ahsoka's turned away from all, but she's not like yes, the Force and the like I don't know, like I feel like that's more like the robes and the monks and all that stuff.
You're thinking of organized religion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's what he's trying to do when he's remaking the Jedi Order. That's what he's doing. He's reorganizing.
Not necessarily. I mean, I look at it more that, I mean, it depends on what you mean by religion. Like, if you mean like dogma and a council and a temple and all that stuff, like that's more like organized religion. But you can have like spirituality and stuff. You have to, because
it just depends on how much he's like the Force, and it surrounds us, and you got a will of the Force, and talking like that. Just teach, just more like, here's how you fight good with the light stick.
But that's not Star Wars.
It's two sides of the Jedi Order: is the will of the Force and fighting good with a stick. And I think it fits Luke's character better if he was more like, and if they wanted him to take the spiritual journey to learn it, I'm saying like right off a jump, Empire's defeated, I'm gonna rebuild the religion. It just didn't fit. I feel like he needed to come to that after a while, much like people come religion over time. It just didn't fit Luke's character. because he just learned about the Force. Like, when's 4 take place? Before the end of 9 or 6, like 3 years, if that 2, 1.
I think it's 3 years between A New Hope and Empire, and it's like maybe a few months to a year between Empire and Jedi.
Yeah, so like I don't know, it just feels like him, like Obi-Wan telling him about the Force, and then he's just like I don't get like preacher vibes from.
I think if he doesn't listen to the Force, he's making the same mistake as Yoda and Obi-Wan, because that was the problem of the old Jedi Order. He just become a tool of the government at that point.
Yeah, but there's like he's not like a part of the rebel, the new government or whatever, the new whatever they were called. But they like I don't know. I'm just saying, like by the time of Ray's time, yeah, he can have like the church built, but right off of like Mando's time, like it was too soon.
Well, I mean, even during Mando's time, he didn't have a Jedi Order.
Yeah, but he was trying. He was built. He was constructing it.
Like he just was instructing Grogu, basically, wasn't it?
Yeah,
because it's stated in the novels that like as far as like his first real student was Ben.
They had the ant. He had the robo ants building his temple.
Yeah, but he didn't have any students.
Yeah, but he I mean, he still he was wanting to do it right off the jump, though. Is what I'm saying. He's like,
you gotta live somewhere.
Jedi temple.
Ruby's asking, did Luke ever get laid? In Legends, he did.
Well, like, who was like his friends that he was gonna go pick up the power converters, right? It was one of those chick. I just feel like one of them had like a girl name, but I don't remember.
I don't remember, but in Legends he did, Tamara Jade. And yeah, he had a son named Ben Skywalker. Named him after old Ben.
I thought he said like me and blah 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 were gonna go to Tashi Station to pick up power converters, but he just says I was going to go to Tashi.
Yeah, I don't remember Luke having any female friends.
That was just
Liam
remembering.
brings up a good point though. There is more of Summer Game Fest coming, right?
I believe that because there's gonna be something in there's Gamescom happening in August, because as I alluded to earlier, there was no Lego game announced, but TT Games did tweet for the first time in like a couple of years, asking about everyone's weekend after Game Fest ended, or after the shows ended, and they basically, because they're a British company, they're basically going to be at Gamescom most likely and going to announce the next Lego game there. But anyway, so Gamescom is still happening in Europe.
You know what I think they should do? A new version of the Lego Harry Potter games.
That was rumored heavily. They were going to remake those, but they also just re-released them, so probably not. But that was one of the heavy rumors. It's supposed to be late August.
I would do like what they did with the Skywalker saga release of the Star Wars games. I would do that with Harry Potter. Add in voice acting, all that good stuff.
Yeah, and then they had Fantastic Beasts was in Lego Dimensions. They never finished that. They only had the first movie, that one. Lego Dimensions is not playable.
I wish, dude, not to go off on another tangent, but this Harry Potter, this Harry Potter reboot, I'm at the point now. Just stop. Just don't do it.
I mean, it's like I'm seeing good casting. I set them aside to talk about when we go live again, but like, the Dursleys were a bit too pretty, but otherwise, like the Malfoy kid they got looks fine.
Yeah, I saw the Malfoy kid. I mean, some of the casting is great, but if you're not gonna, I'm just worried they're not gonna live up to the promise of making it accurate to the books.
They won't. It'll be accurate to like the books plus what J.K. revealed afterwards.
Then what's
So,
the
from the
point?
schedule on the website, Summer Game Fest ended on the 9th.
So Keeley's not having any more
I
events.
think there's still like no, but Gamescom is its own.
Yeah. But I mean, Summer Game Fest is a Keeley thing, so he's not doing any more events.
Yeah, it looks like he's not hosting anything else.
All right, yeah. So it's over. Am I breathing into the mic? Maybe it's picking up some of my breathing. I've got like a headset mic.
Yeah. No, but the next Lego game was rumored to be a new Harry Potter thing, Lego Batman for, they're on track to do another Lego Marvel, but it's possible that the contract with Disney is out so that they are no longer able to do, because TT Games is WB owned. They don't want to do stuff for Disney anymore, so that's probably down the tubes, which sucks because Lego Marvel games are great. But the last one before this one was Lego DC Supervillain, so it's like Lego Batman would be fine, but we just had one, so it's either going to be a brand new IP. Well, no, it was Star Wars before this one. The last one, it'd either be a new IP or Harry Potter, because WB wants to have like their stuff first and foremost. So it's like we have they need to do Lord of the Rings again, that'd be good. But we want we want Mortal Kombat, we want Batman, and we want Harry Potter and Game of Thrones. That was like the big thing. They ain't gonna do no Lego Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're not gonna. Yeah, they're not going to. A Lego Game of Thrones would be wild.
Yeah, but no, I love the Lego games, and I always look forward to the next one when they put them out. And Skywalker Saga was a lot. That was the closest I've ever come to just bouncing off of a game entirely. Once I got to like the sequels, I'm like, oof, this is a lot. And they even acknowledged themselves, like, yeah, we're never doing that again.
I liked it though. I liked the Skywalker Saga.
I didn't hate it. It's just besides the sequel parts were just so boring, but like it was big. It's a very big game.
Yeah, it's a huge game. But it's one of those like you can pick it up anytime and continue whenever you want. Like that's kind of what I did with it. Like I didn't sit down the night that I got it and played the game the whole way through until morning. Like that's not what happened. I would do like episode 1 and then a couple of days later pick it up, do episode 2, so on and so forth.
Yeah. It has my favorite bug turn feature though. Where when you got the Mandalorian pack, you selected the Mandalorian, it would spawn a little Grogu floating in the little pod.
Yeah.
And if you wanted, you could change that Grogu to a different character, giving you a third character. If you changed into a Mandalorian, it gave you a new Mandalorian with another Grogu. You could do that over and over again. You could have 15 characters all at once, all on screen, walking around. You could switch between all of them, which was really good for when you were like trying to get all the collectibles, and you had to be like, okay, we need a stormtrooper here, we need a bounty hunter for this, that. But then they patched that and they removed it. But they added a cheat code that's like, I think it's like clone 15, and it re-adds the bug back in so you can do it again.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, so I guess before we move on to some other stuff, final thoughts on this Xbox thing. Like, is Xbox alive and well? Is it okay?
Game Pass is their big thing, and this console handheld thing, people still like those. I'm not a big console handheld person, but people like them. I don't know if Xbox is the thing to do it. Now, if you got some classic 360 stuff in here, maybe you can have some fun with it, but like Game Pass does, but I don't know. Like I'm still not incentivized by this or an Xbox. So, because unless there's going to be exclusive games, like Silk Song, I believe is a launch title for this, but it's not exclusive.
Right.
So it's like there's no reason to get it. I don't mobile game as it is or handheld game as it is. So, I mean, I can't speak for people. I'm not an Xbox fan. I'm not going to buy the Sony one either. So I'd buy a Switch, but I wouldn't buy this.
Yeah, Xbox has just never offered anything exclusive that I can really just be like, I've got to have this system. It's just, I'm not the type of guy for an Xbox. There's some things that I like that Xbox does. Like, I think the Series S being like it is the cheapest way to get into current gen gaming, console gaming. I think that's very consumer friendly. I appreciate that. I do think this whole idea of like spreading like the ability to play all these games across such a wide ecosystem it makes it very easy to jump into gaming. So I do appreciate that to a certain extent instead of just, narrowing it down to this one box.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, like the backwards compatibility that they've done with this generation, I think is just fantastic. But still nothing exclusive there that just makes me want to jump in.
Yeah, and it's just a Steam Deck. That's it. Like, I mean, like I props to him for not making it a streaming thing because I'm pretty sure that's what Sony's thing is, and that's stupid.
That's dumb.
And so, like, if I wish that Sony would be like, yeah, let's do a proper one of this, and it's like, yeah, stupid. But I guess especially if you're gonna play an Xbox anything, just get a PC. Like, nothing. And even now, there's no exclusive on Xbox anymore. You're just giving them all away, so it's like,
yeah. What's up, Dragon Man? Unmute yourself, Dragon Man. Speak your truth. Talk to America. Oh, what the fuck?
What is with these?
Yo.
My fellow Americans, I'm the best. What's up? You guys doing?
Yeah. It's a little echoey. It's lots of background noise.
Picking up the whole room. Like far away from me.
What is up with people having audio issues? What the
you and your dogs don't like it.
Yo, man. Yeah, I know. They're like, what the fuck was that? Bark, bark. The fuck? Hey, you take care, Ruby. I don't know, man. We'll let Dragon Man work out his audio issues. I don't know, man. Like I appreciate how consumer friendly Xbox can be. I do appreciate that, but I don't know, man. Where's like the Zelda to get me into this? Where's your God of War?
It was supposed to be Starfield, and then that fucking tanked. It almost got me, but it sucked, so it didn't.
I need something that's gonna have that. Listen, man, I need a magical journey to go on. Okay, that's what I need. That's what you got to give me.
When Kingdom Hearts side game that I can't think of a good title for is released on Xbox exclusive.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, but there's a lot of background noise.
My bad.
Might have been.
God damn. One
Where is he?
Are you inside of a factory or something?
Are you
inside
in?
of a building?
Are you inside? Are you literally inside of a dryer? Of a fucking dryer?
Hey. Something like that.
It's really loud, too.
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna have to go someplace where there ain't all that background noise, bruh.
Yeah, that's real loud. No, yeah, so no, Xbox just like it's fine having this handheld thing, and they're still trucking along. More power to them, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm interested to see when they announce like a new home console. What are they going to give us? Are we going to get another home console?
You get a case for your PS5 that makes it look like an Xbox. So you're playing your Xbox games on it.
I mean, I really thought that the way Microsoft was going with the Xbox brand is like some kind of service.
A stick, like a Roku stick. You can just plug into the TV.
Yeah.
Got every games on it.
That's kind of where I thought that this was going.
The Game Pass stick.
But now I'm not so sure.
Like $20.
Now I'm really not so sure.
I mean, well, maybe they compete with they lost to Sony. Maybe they come at Nintendo. Maybe they're coming. We want the handheld.
Bro, I'm just saying
You've held it for too long.
If this thing is supposed to be on par with a Series X, or not Series X, a Series S.
I mean, it's basically what we're showing here. Here's everything that it can do. You know, here's every console you can play Gears of War on. And even like they show the phone because you could like stream it, but like we know that this handheld is download. So
this is why I was saying that the Switch 2 needs to be bare minimum on par with the Series S. It has to do the bare minimum to get the third-party games. It has to do the bare minimum to be considered on par with the current generation of consoles that the other two companies have. It doesn't have to be PS5 Pro levels or anything like that. It doesn't have to surpass any of that stuff. It just has to be on par. And the bare minimum example that we have of being on par is the Series S.
mm-hmm.
And from what I understand, again, I haven't got a Switch 2. I probably won't get a Switch 2 until we get a proper Mario or a proper Zelda. Is that it's basically a PS4 Pro.
Yeah.
Which, if this new Xbox handheld is going to be a Series S, sorry, that's not good enough, Nintendo.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, like it's competing with the Switch 2 and the Steam Deck. And the Steam Deck already like blew people's minds of what games it could play on it.
Yeah.
So it's really if it's on par with the PS5, right? With PS5's on par with the Xbox Series X, you know. Downloaded games. It's like, yeah, I want to know what the caveat is, right? Because we saw the Switch 1 not be able to handle a lot of stuff. I'm like, what's its problem going to be, right? You can't pack a Series S into that small of a thing, not have something.
I don't know. Maybe they figured it out.
Maybe Xbox figured it out.
I mean, because think about it, man. It's been what? This is 2025. It's been what? 3-4 years since Series S came out.
Yeah.
So I mean, in that time, the technology they could have figured out how to put it in that tiny little package. I think it's possible. That's why I said that's what Nintendo needs to do with the Switch 2. Just bare minimum. It's
you got to be on par with the PlayStation 5 or at least a 4.
Am I saying I hate the Xbox hand? No, I'm not saying that. I think it's impressive.
We're both just like Xbox is as a brand is so tarnished. Once they started giving away their exclusives, they sat themselves in the cuck chair. It was over. It was just it's like, all right, like, because PlayStation and Nintendo have their exclusives locked down. Now you can argue PC, and yeah, PC, but that's its own thing. It's separate. It's over there. But like, as far as like, if you want to play Spider-Man Insomniac, you ain't gonna get that on an Xbox. You get on PC, you get on PlayStation, but you can't get it on Xbox, can't get it on Nintendo. And even like their PC, they're like the stuff they're making now, it takes time to get on PC, you know?
Yeah.
And so
it's
if they
PlayStation first.
Yeah. And so there's like, that's still the reason you see the game, you pick up that PlayStation. With Xbox, it's like, yeah, here's this cool Xbox game. It's coming to PS5 a few months later, if not on launch, and people just not going to pay attention to it. Like,
yeah.
I'm still waiting on Starfield, but otherwise, like, Indiana Jones came out. I got to get that yet. But it's like, I'm excited to play that one, and I can play it on PlayStation right now.
And with as many studios that Xbox has bought up, there's no reason for this to be happening.
Now, if Xbox wants to put a Viva Pinata 3 exclusive to Xbox, then we will be talking. But otherwise, there's no Viva Pinata 3.
Viva Pinata. Now, there's a name I've not heard in a very long time.
I got both those because I still have my 360. I love Viva Pinata. I used to play it all the time.
Jesus Christ.
Never beat it, but gotta beat it. Viva Pinata so good.
I'm telling you, man.
You guys own Activision. Pay the license, get those Marvel games put back on there. Deadpool, X-Men Legends, Ultimate Alliance. Activision like did all of the Marvel games back in the day.
Yep.
Like, bring all those back on there, exclusive to Xbox, and you've got some.
Bro, if you do that, like if you bring things like the Spider-Man movie games, if you bring things like Web of Shadows. Yeah, like Web of Shadows, and you make that exclusive to Xbox, you know, your boy might want to pick up a Series S.
Just like the Marvel like movie collection or the Marvel Masterwork collection or something like that. It's just like, it's a big, huge thing that's got Spider-Man 1, 2, 3. You know, you got your X-Men Legends, your Ultimate Alliance, you got your Spider-Man 1 and Enter Electro, those ones. Because like, you own Ravensoft, you own Activision, you own all the companies that made those, and so you literally have the keys to the kingdom. And guess what? Sony don't got those. Sony has their Marvel games, but otherwise, like, they're their own thing. Nintendo's got Ultimate Alliance 3. That's all they got, exclusive, you know, stuff. But yeah, like, throw some money at your companies. I'm pretty sure Xbox also had the X-Men arcade game that they also lost they didn't want to pay the rights to, so that got disappeared off stores. Pay for that to come back, you know, like, throw that on there, and then you got me interested because I can't play that nowhere else besides emulation. So it's like, yeah, then you got me.
Yeah, I mean, if you start doing stuff like that, you know, your boy might have to pick up a Series S.
Yeah,
at that point.
This handheld thing. It depends. Then the question is, Jesker, what's the price of this handheld? Now,
I mean,
on this website, when you refresh it, there's a point where it shows like the options on my thing. Like, I saw like 1 terabyte or something, and then I don't know what the other. But I imagine it's like 1 terabyte, and maybe the other was like 2 terabytes or something like that. And that's your hard drive downloads. So like, probably a base 1 terabyte.
I would say base price. Assuming if it's on par with the Series S, base price probably what Series S is $299.
I believe so, yeah.
So I probably say $299.
Probably. I wouldn't say they'd go crazy and go like 200, like 199. I don't think they do.
No.
What's the Steam Deck?
Steam Deck price. It is
Back these days. About $500.
Wow. Yeah, nah.
450. I saw people have those like crazy.
Now listen, if
That's like 256 gigabytes. If this comes out with a terabyte, that's crazy.
if Xbox wants to stay competitive though, they need to keep that price low. They really do. All right.
So then the thing that I sent, there's the other one that's like there's nothing really new on it. It's just more like breaking down the thing. But there's that thing that pops up. There's 24 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabyte on one option, and the other one is 512 gigabytes hard drive. So yeah, so the other one's 512. So still more than the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
So will they charge comparatively?
Nah, I think they'll try and make it. I think they'll make it cheaper.
Because if it's 500, no one's gonna get that.
Yeah, no one. No.
If it's 200 or 300, then
it's not gonna be. It's bare minimum $299. There's no way. There's no way it's gonna be $199. I don't think we'll ever see like a modern gaming system that's going to be $199. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think we'll see that again.
Can you play other Xbox games on the Ally thing? Yeah, you have your Game Pass. And your library, I imagine too. You just download straight to your library. But it also said it has cloud or has a second screen too, so you can literally switch it.
Yeah,
you can do second screen with it, so it means like you can just have it like sitting there playing it while your Xbox is running, someone else watching TV or something. You know, you can switch it.
Yeah.
You just can't take, and you can't really take it with you unless you probably turn it off and turn it back on, and then you do it that way. I don't think they could do like a second screen to then boot up the game local with it. Maybe they could, because then that's rivaling Nintendo a lot. If you do that, the idea of like you basically cast your Xbox to your screen to continue playing while someone else is using the TV, and then you press a button or do a menu to be like load it up locally and have like a seamless kind of switch where it's like, okay, now you're playing it. You turn your Xbox off safely and you just keep playing, because then you're like, that's Nintendo Switch right there, you know. So I don't know. That's me talking. That's what I'm looking to see. I'm looking to see right now Xbox versus Nintendo. That's what I'm seeing. They lost to Sony. They kowtowed to Sony, but you know, Xbox v Nintendo. That's where we're headed.
I mean, yeah, man. It looks like that's where things are going. I think at the end of the day, man, Xbox, we're not dead yet.
Yeah, that's really the takeaway. Like you are neither dead nor dying.
Pretty much. Speaking of things that are dead, I would say that horror games had a pretty good run at Summer Game Fest. I think that
yeah, like especially out of the major franchises like Capcom and Konami.
I would say if you're a horror game fan, you were eating pretty good. Us JRPG fans, you know, not so much.
There's always JRPGs though. It's like throw a rock, you'll hit 3.
Yeah, but you know, there's only 2 that matter. The Liza P DLC that just shadow dropped out of nowhere.
It's real good. Been playing it,
bro. That like shadow dropped right after the live event. I saw that on Twitter. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think they announced it at the show we were reacting to last week. Mm-hmm. That trailer was there for just like, yeah, it's available now. Like we just skipped through it. We didn't see it.
Yeah, that was. It's like, okay,
yeah,
sure,
it's all right. It's like $30 too, which is like cheap.
Yeah,
for a DLC like that. I think Shadow of the Erdtree was like 50 or 60 or something. It was like a whole ass game, and it was like full game price. Game, but
Yeah.
But no, like Overture is really good. It's like cheap. I like it more than Shadow of the Erdtree because Shadow of the Erdtree became a slog after a while, just like Elden Ring did. It's just more Liza P.
Yeah.
Great.
Dragon Man, you fix the audio issues?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you good now, man.
Yeah, good.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, very interesting that there's no more E3 anymore. You know, and I don't know. I mean, with video games nowadays, man, for me, it's kind of hard to see which console to buy because I haven't had a console in like 8 years, damn near. Um, what which console are you guys recommending?
I say PS5 mainly.
PS5.
Yeah, what
That's
like what
mainly
are you
because Sony.
what are you looking for as far as
Sony's
games go?
exclusives.
I'm looking for. Well, I used to be an Xbox guy, so you know. But I don't know. I mean, maybe just the best of the best. You know, of course, there's going to be exclusives, but
Not on
I mean,
Xbox.
Xbox.
No, Xbox don't have
Xbox
exclusive.
Xbox gave up all their exclusives. They put them all. They're mostly all of them are on PlayStation now.
I would say the most bang for your buck is going to come from a PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Now if you just really like Nintendo franchises, obviously the Switch too, but
Even then, I'd say wait on the Switch too. I feel like
yeah,
hopping on right now, you're gonna get caught up in a lot of like. There's not a whole lot of games
yeah,
besides like what was already on the Switch One. You could probably get a Switch One used or something and play like all that library perfectly fine.
yeah. I
Before
mean
you
like
get to.
I'm not getting a Switch 2 until there's a couple of franchises that are going to make me get a Switch 2. It's going to be Zelda, it's going to be a Mario,
I mean, there's a
or
Mario on the Switch too, Jesker.
that's Mario Kart. I mean, a proper
That
Mario
counts.
game. Where's the
Give me,
next Odyssey, huh?
give me Super Crash Brothers. Well, that Donkey Kong game looks good.
Oh, yeah, but Donkey Kong's not Mario.
But I mean, like it's pretty Odyssey though. It's an Odyssey like.
You know what I really want? You know what would make me go out and buy a Switch 2 right now?
Kingdom Hearts 4.
Well, yes, if that was exclusive to the Switch 2, of
Kingdom Hearts
course.
Chain of Memories remastered.
Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm there. Take my money. No, as far as like Nintendo franchises go, a new Kid Icarus.
Ooh, yeah. Well, that was Sakurai, right? He's doing
Yeah.
that Kirby. He's doing that Kirby Air Riders.
Fuck Kirby. I'm sorry, but I never got into Kirby.
He likes Kirby though. Sakurai
Never got into Kirby, huh?
Never got into Kirby. Never understood the appeal.
I've never played a Kirby game. I used to watch Kirby Right Back at You back on 4Kids though.
Oh yeah, I like that. I like that series.
I like Zelda. I like Mario. I like Metroid. I like Kid Icarus. I like Pokemon.
Kid Icarus holds the 2 games in his hands, and the one he probably played Uprising. That was probably the only.
Hey man, Uprising was a baller ass game.
I know, but it's like there's 2 games, like 2 Kid Icarus.
Well, whose fault is that?
I'm just saying, it's like saying you're a fan of like I don't know. I can't even think of something that's like so like.
It's Nintendo's fault. They're not fucking I mean, come on, man. Listen, if they're gonna go more open world with Zelda, then if you want to go for the more linear stuff, give that to Kid Icarus. That can be your more linear adventure game.
I would Kid Icarus. I mean, Kid Icarus is not going to sell as much as a Zelda.
Of course not.
So like they're not going to put any time to it, but I do feel like Kid Icarus does need something, even if it's the remaster of Uprising, because I don't think they've done that yet.
But what I'm saying is that you put a game out there, and you need to start building a larger fan base around it. Like, it's not going to happen unless you actually put it out there and try to make it happen.
Yeah, Nintendo's really good about bringing back old franchises, though. I will say that. Like, even like Luigi's Mansion got a new game on the Switch, and stuff like that, where they'll bring back stuff. And Uprising was like a Wii game, wasn't it? So it's not even that old.
Liam Hughes says, "What about Metroid, F-Zero, and Star Fox?" Yeah, I said I like Metroid. F-Zero, I've never played an F-Zero game.
F-Zero's a racing game, so it's harder to.
And Star Fox, I like Star Fox, but is it something?
Imagine if Nintendo is cooking a Star Fox game that's like a Starfield, like a big, huge open world space thing, and you could get out of the whatever the ship's called and like walk around. Like if they're cooking that right now, then people would be like, I'm here for it. Like that's what you do with Star Fox. You don't just keep doing on-rail shooters.
Yeah, that's a series that needs a reinvention.
Pikmin just got a new one. Earthbound still hasn't. But they never did release the third one. I
never played Mother. I'm just not interested in. I'm not interested in Pikmin.
I mean, Pikmin's got its fans, though. I will give them that.
Oh yeah, trust me, I know. But it's got a massive fan base. But I've never seen the. I don't even.
Kid Icarus guy.
I mean, listen, I know Kid Icarus is kind of the black sheep of Nintendo, but dagnabbit, it has Kid so Icarus much potential.
He's more known from Smash Brothers than his own game.
Listen, Pit has got so much potential.
He's the Mr. Game & Watch.
You think so?
Of course, yeah.
Oh, you know what? Hey, Liam just mentioned Pikmin. Hey, Pikmin was the game back in the day, man. They need to do I don't understand how that franchise died with the game.
Dragon Man, did you just not hear me? They made a new Pikmin. It's on the Switch.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Made Pikmin 3. That's what I say. Nintendo brings back their dead franchises. Like they're good about that.
Then bring back Kid Icarus.
They probably will. After Air Riders, who knows what they're gonna do.
I mean, for the love, I'm telling you, man, if they want to keep going with the open world stuff with Zelda, people want a more linear adventure game. Kid Icarus is right there to fill that gap, man.
Plus the humor of Kid Icarus too, like the kind of fourth wall breaky, tongue in cheek, like
so funny.
People were that's like really big, and having these like moments where the characters could narrate on what you're doing if you're doing something goofy, and then it's all of a sudden that they pop in like, what are you doing, Pit? You can't do blah, 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 something like that,
Yeah, man, Kid Icarus is a funny franchise. I don't know, man. Like it's got so much potential.
I trust Nintendo. I'm not a Nintendo fan. The most Nintendo game I've ever played is like Wii Sports, but I'm always kind of outside looking at it, Nintendo, out from the window, and I'm always like, I give them a nod. I'm like, you know what, Nintendo, like you guys always like you always are pulling it together. You guys. I didn't like that Mario, like that re-release that they did. That was like time exclusive for a digital thing. That was stupid. But I'm like, come on, Nintendo. Like, if I pick up a Switch, I want to be able to play Mario from start to finish, kind of thing. You took that away from me. I'll never be able to play Super Mario Sunshine unless I get a GameCube or whatever.
I used to trust Nintendo. The Switch too, and some of the controversy around it has me questioning them a lot more lately. But
yeah, and then Liam points out the Mii franchise because of the Wii Sports and stuff. They did bring back Wii Sports with the Switch, and it's like, I can't remember what they called it, if it's Mii Sports or Wii, something like that, Mii Play or something like that, but it is basically just Wii Sports. And it's like, that's what they should have done. They should have had Mii's and kept that, and to have Wii Sports on the Switch. Like, it's so perfect, and they did bring that back. That's what, like, Nintendo, just, they know what they're doing sometimes. You're like, dang it, Nintendo, that's good. Like, I still will watch Nintendo Directs just because their vibes are so immaculate sometimes. You're just like, the moment where it's like coming to consoles. Here's this Japanese bullshit that you don't care about, and then it's like,
oh yeah, they're a gaming like
long-awaited franchise. It's making its return. You're like, what? And then you're like, oh my god. Like
up until now, like they have been a company that is passionate about gaming, not just about tech, but about gaming. And that's what I've liked about Nintendo. But I'm telling you, man, some of that old school Nintendo greed that we saw with Yamaguchi or whatever the fuck his name was back in the day. I don't know who's running the show behind the scenes, but I'm starting to see that seep in, and that's not good because listen, as much as we love the NES, we love the Super Nintendo, there is some really dumbass decisions going on back in those days because of greed.
Well, yeah, especially like Nintendo single-handedly brought about the death of a lot of modern gaming games by raising their prices. Once Nintendo raised their prices, everyone flipped that switch. Did you see the most recent game to get the $80 price tag was?
What?
Outer Worlds 2.
What? No.
That game is not worth $80.
This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
Is not worth $80. Like you
this
can argue. Like you can argue. What was the first one that got it? Was it Mario Kart? Was 80?
Yeah.
That was like you can argue Mario Kart. The first game is you can argue $80. People complained. People bought it. Right. Like you can argue that. I think the next one that announced, like GTA 6 might be 100. You can argue GTA 6. Outer Worlds getting the $80, I think it's actually 90. I can't remember what it is. But like getting that price tag, Outer Worlds 2 getting that is so stupid and honestly ironic considering the whole point of Outer Worlds is a critique of capitalist greed.
You either die a comrade or live long enough to see yourself become the capitalist.
Become the bourgeoisie.
Wait, no. I remember the one dude. Remember the one dude? I don't know if he was CEO or if he was the director at the time, but what's his name? Reginald. Remember?
Reggie.
Yeah, remember he said, "We we're here to kick ass and take names with the we."
I miss Reggie.
Yeah, Reggie had to push and scratch and claw to get Wii Sports bundled and on every Wii. Nintendo didn't want to give away a game.
Because there's some greedy there's some old listen, let me put it to you like this, and I'm not trying to sound judgmental about their culture, but there's some old Japanese men that are running some Japanese companies that honestly are very out of touch with the fans of today, both in Japan and outside of Japan. And on top of that, they do have like a lot of old school greed. I mean, dude, Yamaguchi, who was running Nintendo back in the NES Super Nintendo days, was like a fucking mafia don. I mean, he could be scary.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look up some like Nintendo documentaries and stuff. Yeah. Yamaguchi was like the fucking godfather, bro. Now you listen to me. There's this new character out there. His name is Spyro. I want you to make sure that dragon is sleeping with the fishes tonight, capiche?
Do not Sony does not make a 3D platformer.
I want you to make sure that this whole thing about compact disc, it's erased from public memory, all right? It's like, and see, that's the thing. Like some of those decisions back in the day, you know, you look at like the Sega Genesis, for example, did not censor games that were platformed across both Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. And that really helped Sega Genesis compete with the Super Nintendo. Yeah. You look at the creation of PlayStation. Seriously, Nintendo created PlayStation. Like if Nintendo hadn't screwed over Sony in some of their business dealings, because originally the PlayStation was supposed to be a Nintendo add-on. And then they tried to do some bullshit, behind the scenes business nonsense to try and screw over Sony. And Sony was like, well, fuck this. We're going to take this technology we developed and we're going to make our own damn console. And boom, you get the PlayStation 1. And so now they created probably their greatest competitor ever.
Yeah. I'd argue the reason that Nintendo is seen as like just the third one. Like, I'd still say Xbox, with all of its faults, is number 2.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Nintendo is just there at 3. And they've been trying to play catch up ever since. But they're also running their own race, which I respect them for.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, hey, you're not trying to be number 1. You're just making money. It's cool.
But man, it's one of those things to where if Nintendo's going to go back to that mentality that they had back then, which I'm seeing a lot of it starting to resurface with the Switch 2, the greed, man, the unfiltered greed. It just, I think they might be about to screw up.
It's almost like they're trying to stick it to the consumer instead of sticking it to Sony.
Yeah.
Like Nintendo needs to be sticking it to Sony by getting like crazy exclusives that look like PlayStation games. Right?
Yeah.
Like they need to announce that they got an exclusive like new Azura's Wrath that plays like God of War. Right? And it's like, oh my god, you see new Azura's Wrath, it's crazy. Like they got Capcom to make Azura's Wrath and it's exclusive to the Switch and it looks like God of War 2018, or like they need to do some like crazy stuff like that, some like underhanded, like we got Spyro, like somehow we got Spyro. It's like, how'd you get Spyro? It's like, well, we got Spyro. It's like Spyro's on the Switch.
Spyro the Dragon.
Yeah, like they steal a Sony property in some way. Like, that's what I want. I want these guys to like stick it to each other in some way. Like, kind of like how like when Sony made like PlayStation All Stars, they wanted to compete with Smash, but they failed, right? That didn't work out. But then there's been a few like we're making Nintendo, like Astrobot is the biggest middle finger to Nintendo.
Yeah.
Like it's just
like,
you
ain't lying.
We are making Mario Odyssey. We're making it for the PlayStation and we're filling it with all of our guys. Like and even I think even some like other ones too, like other franchises, like non-PlayStation stuff. But like you can't stop us. And like PlayStation needs to be like, hey, here is a Sony, like a Horizon like game, right? Like here's your Kid Icarus is gonna play like 2018 God of War, and it's gonna be like,
yeah, let's go, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Hyper realistic graphics, and it's gonna be a story driven like narrative thing that people are gonna think. Like Nintendo doesn't have that. Nintendo doesn't have a movie game.
Oh
right?
my
like
god.
Sony and Xbox have these like we have these are amazing stories, right? These are these amazing, like your God of Wars, your Ghost of Tsushimas, your Insomniac Spider-Mans and stuff like that, where it's like you're playing it for the story and this great gameplay. It's hyper realistic. You're watching a movie basically. You just play a movie. Nintendo doesn't have that. Nintendo does their thing, which is like fun, happy family games, which is fun. But if they wanted to come at Sony's throat, they need something
like a dark and gritty Kid Icarus game would be crazy. Like just dark and gritty Pit going, you know what sound my wings make? They go flap, flap, motherfucker.
Like maybe something like to that level, but just like a hyper realistic story, like hyper story driven thing. I don't know what franchise if they could get like a Castlevania and have like this gritty grounded Castlevania game. What other Nintendo real franchises that are
dude, if they could somehow get it to where Castlevania was like an exclusive on Nintendo and like they rebooted the franchise and stuff, that would be huge.
Yeah. Or like throw money at Konami and get Metal Gear. Like
yeah.
That you could do that. Throw money at Sega, get a Sonic game on a Switch. Something that would be like it's like, wow,
No, I agree with you, man. Like Nintendo, I love Nintendo, but Nintendo frustrates me with just how much they hold themselves back.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's not like you have to do that much more to reach your full potential. You just got to go a little bit further. Just got to go a little bit deeper, all right, until you climax. You know what I'm saying?
I don't actually, but
I know. I'm sorry. That was rude.
Looking at other stuff. It's like Fire Emblem. Oh, Fire Emblem's crappy. No one gives a shit. I'm looking at other, like, you could do a Zelda that's a hyper realistic thing, but I feel like that's not cool enough. Like, it needs to be a dead franchise or like a dormant franchise. You'd be like, oh my god. Realistically, it'd be Pokemon, but they're not doing it.
No.
Did you see Game Freak's new game though? You see that?
No.
That was look up Game Freak. Hold on, let me get the title. And that blew people's minds. It's not a Pokemon. It's a new action RPG. Beast of Reincarnation. So we'll search that up.
Beast of Reincarnation. Give me 1 sec. Beast of Reincarnation.
This was actually shown off on the Xbox showcase. This is not on Switch 2.
Game Freak showed something off on the Xbox showcase. Really?
Yeah. Like when the logo popped up. Play the trailer. Play the YouTube trailer.
Okay. Yeah.
Like when the logo popped up, people were like, "This is a Game Freak game." Like what?
All right. Let's see here. Beast of Reincarnation.
There you go.
All right.
Like it's coming to PS5 and Xbox. It's not coming.
Are these the same? Let's see.
Same thing.
Okay.
はるか昔この国に輪廻の獣が現れた。輪廻の獣は汚れを吐き、あらゆる生物を蝕んだ。
People saw that, they were like, what?
西暦4026年、人類は滅亡を待つのみ。 封じ子エマ、お前こそが輪廻の獣を滅ぼす刃となる。
That's not coming to a Nintendo system. Period.
It's not coming to a Nintendo system as of right now.
Nintendo, what the fuck?
Like they lost. Like they lost Game Freak.
Like you and Game Freak are supposed to be tight, and you couldn't get this exclusive.
They went to sit at the other table.
I'm going to fly to Japan and slap the shit out of every single one of you.
Like,
and you can throw all the Yakuza you want at me. All right, fuck it. You are getting slapped.
Like,
that's funny, man.
I don't think that they're like. It's just like it's not going to Switch at all. Probably. It's just like,
what the fuck, Nintendo? There is no excuse, given how tight you are with Game Freak, that this should not be a Switch 2 exclusive.
And it's like a Monster Hunter Sekiro type game. Like it's like a Souls-like in a way.
Every single one of you old Japanese businessmen running this fucking company need your ass to be slapped. All right, you need a good down home Southern black grandma whooping. All right, that's what you need.
Like,
you need a
Game
switch
Freak,
taken to your ass.
Like, Game Freak is notoriously lazy, like when making like Pokemon. Like,
what the fuck?
And it's like they could have had a Monster Hunter exclusive to the Switch.
This fucking company, man. I swear. Nintendo, I love you, but fuck you. Fuck you, but I love you.
Took all the money and ran.
That's insane, bro. That legitimately pisses me off. It's stupid, dumbass decision like that just really... Just give me Nintendo, all right? I will fix every problem with this company. Give me Nintendo, all right?
You'd be like Kid Icarus Uprising remaster, also Kid Icarus 2 or 3.
I mean, seriously, I would do a fucking Nintendo Direct, and I'd start it off. Let's go big from the beginning. I'd start it off with
Breath of the Wild.
Either, fuck it. No, I'd start it off with an Ocarina of Time remake announcement. And then I'd have the teaser for a new Zelda in production.
Make Ocarina of Time remake look like your hyper realistic God of War.
And then
or Majora's Mask, blow people's minds.
Then we fill in the gap between the beginning and the end with a bunch of third-party stuff. Get some exclusives in there. And then at the very end, we get a Kid Icarus Uprising remaster. And then after that, you end the show with a brand new Kid Icarus game teaser. And I'd be like, yeah, you know what? Sorry for that price hike on the Switch. We're bringing it down. Or on the Switch 2, we're going to bring it down $50. And our games are going to be 60 bucks at most from now on. Sorry about that.
No, that genie is not getting put back in the bottle because Nintendo can course correct on that, but Sony's not gonna. Xbox isn't gonna. Rockstar Games isn't. GTA 6 will be $100. That is.
I think GTA 6 is going to be $100 even before all this happened.
But like I was saying, like, so it's like no matter what, people like Outer Worlds 2 is going to be $80. The $70 price raise happens, they're going to keep going.
That's fucking dumb.
Nintendo course correcting is not going to fix that. You're going to argue that they can now. You can argue digital purchases should go down because what's the cost there to make the cartridge? That's understandable. The case and the distribution and all that. Digital consoles should not cost the same as discs and cartridges consoles.
Yeah, I agree.
Should be cheaper. They're not going to be, but should be. That's why you wait for sales.
Yeah. All right, we're going to wrap this up in about 15 minutes. Let's talk about the two big horror games that were shown off.
Silent Hill we went over last week. We watched.
Yeah, we're not going to spend a lot of time on Silent Hill. We went over that last week, but this should have been kind of an indicator of things to come because, again, if you're a horror fan, Dragon Man dropped out. Maybe we'll get back in before we wrap up the show, but this should have been kind of an indicator because, again, if you are a horror fan, you ate well at summer.
Yeah, there's two big franchises, right? Because Alone in the Dark isn't really around and Fatal Frame isn't really around. That's another one that Nintendo could do is a new Fatal Frame that's like this, a dark and scary Silent Hill like Fatal Frame, be terrifying. But no, and then the other one, of course, the big franchise is one I predicted, or I don't know if I think I asked if it would be there. I didn't predict that it would be. But can't remember who said that Resident Evil 9.
I didn't think I know me and Cynic both. We didn't think it was going to show up. Cynic was saying that there was going to be an RE5 remake.
Yeah, it'd be remake. It'd be the remaster remake before.
I
was like, yeah, I was like, I think I'm pretty sure they're due for 9. I don't remember what I said though.
Yeah. I didn't, especially coming since we just came off the heels of the 4 remake.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't think we were gonna get a Resident Evil 5 remake before 9, but I didn't think we were gonna get 9 at Summer Game Fest.
Yeah, that was definitely a surprise, and so much of it too. Like it showed a lot of 9, and there was even gameplay like at the actual show.
And it's coming out in February.
We're playing it, yeah, real soon.
That's the wild thing too. Like, I, honest to God, the way I thought this was going to play out is I thought we were going to get the reveal at the Game Awards, and then the game would probably come out like in the fall of 2026. I thought we were still a few months away from hearing anything about the game, but that just really caught me off guard. Just nope, here it is, middle of the year, and it's coming out early next year, and it's like, so I mean, basically we've got what, 8 months?
Yeah, it'll be like by the time the trailer's out, the marketing will be hitting up. It'll be just like blink, it'll be here. The orders will go live in probably like 2 to 3 months from now.
Yeah, now let me go ahead and pull up the Resident Evil 9 trailer, because there's a lot of juicy stuff in here that gets me really excited.
The actual, like an IGN wasn't like number 1.
Yeah, I know. So like, I know like the main character seems to be this chick right here, Grace Ashcroft. Yeah. Now, apparently she's the
what are you gonna say?
She's the daughter of the main character from Outbreak. I never played Outbreak.
I know that like I think her name is in a text document. I think in like 7 or something, or 8.
Yeah, it's like Elisa Ashcroft or something.
Yeah.
And she was like a journalist during the Raccoon City incident.
Yeah.
Never played Outbreak though.
Her model, they did not do it well because she looks so much like Ethan's daughter from 8.
That's what I was thinking when I first saw the trailer.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, like they're doing a time jump or whatever, and she'd be the new protagonist, but it's like,
yeah.
Wow.
That's
which, as someone did point out, both Silent Hill and Resident Evil games will have a female protagonist both at the same time. I'm okay with it.
Maybe
I know others probably won't be.
I'm fine with it. I just do
Resident Evil's had the
yeah. I mean, we've had,
and Silent Hill. That's at least, well, Silent Hill, the first one. So yes,
yeah,
it's been done before.
Yeah, I mean, Resident Evil's had Jill and Claire, and I mean, it's had.
You play as Mia for a section, and
yeah. So I mean, it's nothing new. But I have heard rumors that Leon might be making a return in this game.
Yeah, I did see that. They're not really rumors; they're just like trying to like piece together. So, well, if you want to like jump to it or play to it when you see the cloaked man, right? That's basically what he's kind of referring to. And people are matching his face with Leon's like model, but people are also doing it with like everyone else in the franchise, which was really funny. They're like, "Oh my god, it's they're like, it's Mia, or it's Ethan, it's Wesker, it's all these people.
Dude, the Wesker theory is kind of crazy, because I'm like, guys, he was exploded in lava. Yeah. Wesker's dead. What the fuck are people thinking? Listen, I know there's been some crazy shit that has happened in this franchise. I understand that. Wesker is dead. Wesker ain't coming back.
So this seems definitely it'll be a sequel into 2 and possibly 4. And I'm not super into like Resident Evil's a franchise. I popped on about 7 when 7 came out. But, how is this? Do you think we're going to get a lot of like what 8 introduced, or are they going to bury all that, the whole like
No, I don't think they're gonna bury it, but I don't think it's gonna be a focus in this game. I think they are gonna return to like a lot of the because I mean we're going back to Raccoon City.
Yeah,
like that's
destroyed Raccoon City.
Yeah, like the ruins of Raccoon City, which that gets me really excited because I do like I love Resident Evil 2. I love Resident Evil 2. One of my favorite games. The fact that we're going back to Raccoon City, that gets me really excited. Now, don't get me wrong. I love a lot of the stuff that we've gotten from like 7 and 8. But at the same time, I have been wanting to go back to Umbrella. I have been wanting to go back to kind of the series roots. And since it does seem like we're going back to Raccoon City. I mean, we are going back to Raccoon City. Seems like we are going back to those roots a bit. And I think that's going to be more so the focus than the 7 and 8 stuff. I think there'll be references. I think there'll be some loose connections there in the same way that there's loose connections between 7 and 8 and like all the Umbrella Saga stuff. Because, don't forget, like, what's your boy's name? Spencer was involved in like some of the 7 and 8 stuff, but it was like backstory.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to kind of be like that.
There is some screenshots out of the gameplay. Apparently, first and third person is available.
Yeah, which at first I was kind of hesitant about, but as long as you're not forced to switch, I'm okay with. If it's an option, some people might prefer first person, and that's fine. But just don't force me into that.
Yeah, I saw one. I'm trying to find it. Someone put the model of the hooded man. It's Mr. X's model, but of course that could be him. But no, I saw one meme that's like it's when they basically reveal the logo at the end, and it's like that kind of like zombie face yelling in the background. It has the Resident Evil 9 with like that like 2000s. They put a PlayStation 1 like thing on the side, like how it'd be like that'd be like the case, like PlayStation 1 for that. Like it looked so perfect. Like it looked like a PlayStation 1 game. But I can't find it. But
a lot of people think this guy right here is some version of Oswald E. Spencer, who was the president of Umbrella, which he's supposed to be dead.
This is Resident Evil. He's being held together by fungus or whatever.
He could have transferred his consciousness. I don't know, man, but the silhouette does look like Oswald E. Spencer. And that's kind of what I'm leaning towards, which again is a major callback to the Umbrella era of games.
Yeah, I'm
so happy we're going back to Raccoon City.
Seeing the that kind of stuff in the Umbrella, that kind of stuff come back. That is especially because they were built. You realize just how much they're building up to it with those remakes.
Yeah,
that's the reason why they were doing them and going back to Raccoon City, and they were doing all that. And then even like their stuff with like Resident Evil 8 is a lot like Resident Evil 4. That's why they kind of kept those things kind of close together. But, seeing this now, it all culminates. It's like, all those assets that we made for the remake, we could use here.
Right. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, when I realized we're going back to Raccoon City and we might be going back to like some Umbrella stuff. Maybe Spencer's coming back. Wesker, I'm telling you, fuck the theories. Wesker's dead. All right.
Leon might be a villain. I don't know if that makes sense. Maybe it's a clone.
It don't really make a lot of sense.
Fungus clone.
I don't know why Leon would be a villain. I don't understand that. Let's see, where was the cloak figure in the trailer?
He's like very quick. Well, he's there when he puts the bag over the guy's head right there.
All right, hold up.
Stay away from that!
Ooh, what up? That's full volume.
I saw this and immediately just went to the Baker estate. Like it was like that same like kind of thing. It's yeah,
oh.
okay.
Can you see his eye there?
Yeah, a little bit, but they were pretty good to like cover it up.
Wow. Okay. Maybe the facial structure is Leon.
People were mainly going with the chin, like the chin lined up exact. I think there was another shot earlier where you saw But like Leon wouldn't be here. He left. They did his own adventures, like multiple. Isn't he also in like RE6 or whatever, RE5, whichever one it is?
But I mean, yeah, I mean, still though, I mean, like we I don't know if we really know what Leon's been up to lately, because we've not checked in with him in a minute.
Like now, if this was like cool Leon and he's like, I'm back here or whatever, but it seems to be like this is a guy that's been stuck here in the fallout or whatever.
Maybe, or Leon had some crazy ass shit that happened to him off screen.
Yeah, my wife, President's daughter from Resident Evil 4.
He's not fucking Ashley.
No, he's married to her. Imagine if they did pull something like that. Like, what would you rather be, like my wife Ada or like my wife like?
Leon's only got eyes for Ada.
Like that would be like my wife Ada.
Now I'm telling you though, that's kind of a game I want to see where we have Ashley as the main character. Like that
they can do whatever they want with those characters that they've done in the remakes now, you know, like this because people reintroduced to them. You know, you could, especially Leon. Like Leon is primed for that because both of the games they remade were Leon games, right?
Yeah.
But like Leon's primed to come back in some capacity. Now, if he's playing the Chris Redfield kind of role that Chris played in 7 and 8, you know, it kind of makes sense.
That's gotta be Oswald E. Spencer right there. That looks like the silhouette looks so much like him.
And it's also, I think it's like it's supposed to be like, I think it was Keeley that said it was like a major gameplay leap, or is the guy, because so that's the other thing with this Resident Evil, they like teased it twice. They had the Lady Demetress girl announce it was just like, oh, it's the anniversary of Resident Evil, cool, whatever. And they had the dev guy come in later, and then they're like, yeah, you know, Resident Evil, we're still working on something. We'll show something off when we're ready to show something off. And then then it's like, okay, Resident Evil 9, here it is. You know, like it was the same.
Yeah, that was a red herring though. They did that on purpose.
Yeah. I know, I'm saying like they did that 3 times, but I think it was the director that said it in the thing that it's supposed to be like this major gameplay leap. So I'm thinking it's open world. I think all of Raccoon City is explorable.
That's fine, but you gotta tread carefully with that though. You can't make it too open world. Because if you make it too open world, you can ruin some of the claustrophobic factor of like what makes these games scary.
That's the thing with Silent Hill can be open world and it can still be scary, but with then it's like you gotta you gotta go into a building, right? When they're gonna force you to get funneled, then that's when they're gonna be like, whoa,
Trying to find this scene of the cloaked figure.
Yeah, I think it's maybe it was just that one, but I thought that there was like a. But yeah, I was mad. It was Resident Evil Requiem with the 9 in the queue. It was not Resident Evil 6, as it should have been.
Why?
Because then it could have been Resident Evil and then the 6, and it's the I and the X is highlighted. Just like in Village, it's the V and the I or whatever. And then in Biohazard or Resident Evil, and then you see the 7 in the V and the I, but then like it should have been Resident Evil 6, because then it would have been IX. But they chickened out. They couldn't think of anything to use the IX on. That would be good.
It's fine. Y'all are just being bitches.
Yeah. My favorite naming convention is Resident Evil 7 or Resident Evil Biohazard. You know why?
Why?
Because what is Resident Evil called in Japan?
Biohazard.
What is Biohazard 7 called in Japan?
Oh, I don't know.
It's called Biohazard 7 Resident Evil.
Really?
Yep. Because you're inside of a house that's corrupted and evil. And because it's in America, it's 7 Biohazard. So in Japan, it's Biohazard 7 Resident Evil. It's so good. It's like, the way to make that work.
It's like poetry. It rhymes. See how I brought it back to the Star Wars talk from earlier? That's called bringing the show full circle, ladies and gentlemen. That's the kind of overrated talent that you expect here.
I think they also do something funky with the logo there too. Yeah, so then the logo for Biohazard has part of the Z highlighted orange to be the 7 in Biohazard. Like,
makes sense.
Just like how Resident Evil, the VII is in the evil. The Biohazard has the 7 inside Z. It's like it's so cool. And then Resident Evil is the subtitle. Like, it's so cool. Like how they did that.
Overall, man, I'm hyped for this. Like, I can't wait, man. I really can't. Like this. Like I liked 7, I liked 8, but I'm telling you, man, like I'm more excited for this I'm more excited for this Resident Evil game than I have been for any other Resident Evil so far.
Yeah. I'm not one to play Resident Evils because it's too spooky for me, but I'll definitely be interested in learning what they do, where they go with, because 8, I feel like kind of lost a lot of the stuff that 7 kind of set up as far as like being very grounded and scary again. And then 8 got like, the collective consciousness of the metamycete and this ancient fungus that Mother Miranda found. I'm like, this is
which again, if you look at some
magic and stuff,
you look at some of the backstory lore, Oswald Spencer, the founder of Umbrella, knew Mother Miranda. Like they interacted. Yeah. There's a backstory there. I think
Mother Miranda felt like, I don't know what, but that character that introduced later that is like somehow woven into all facets of the past. Like those never sit right with me. Like Xehanort's kind of like that, but not as bad. But I'm thinking more of like something that's like decades old, like it's introduced like now, and then you're like, whoa, like you've been here since the beginning. It's so cheap, it doesn't feel right.
I think we'll get some of that though in 9 because. Again, like I think it's going to be an inverse, like where you had like some like loose Umbrella connections to Mother Miranda. I think in this game, don't be surprised because they want to bring all the people that got into 7 and 8 over to 9.
Yeah.
And not, because some of those people may not have played like some of the older games, but this seems to be really going back to some of the older games.
They definitely played the remakes, though. I will say that.
That's true. That's true.
2 at least, because 2 was big when that came out. So they definitely played 2, and I think they saw those numbers. Here's the people that played 7. Here's people who played 8. Here's people who played 2. 2 had a massive
and 4 and 4
and 4 and 4. But some people, 4 is maybe too actiony, but 2 was like that shorter, isolated. Like I remember that was everywhere when that came out, and the X gonna give it to you meme was all over. So I imagine that we're seeing the results of people going crazy about Resident Evil 2 remake, and they're getting their return to Raccoon City for I think like the 3rd time. I think at this point, like Raccoon City, I feel like they always bring back. But
I think there'll be some stuff that connects to 7 and 8 in this game loosely. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be I don't think you're going to get to the end of the game and all of a sudden Mother Miranda's going to pop and be like, "Hello, I'm back." Like no,
like you definitely died. Like
it's like
Wesker and Mother Miranda team up.
Yeah, the two villains that should for sure be fucking dead. I'm sorry, people that think the cloak figure is Wesker. It's not Wesker. Wesker is fucking dead. Wesker is dead. He is gone.
Clones. Like,
oh my god.
If it's Leon, it's a bio clone. Like it's some type of weird fungal clone. And it's like he was made in a lab or something, or made by I don't know. But he's some clone because he looks all gross. Like Leon left Raccoon City, and it's so no, I don't know what Leon's doing, but he did not go back to Raccoon City, unless he had some purpose where like Ada was trapped and there's something he had to go back in. But
well, I could see Leon going back to Raccoon City in this game, but again, like if Leon's going to be in this game, I think he'll be a second player character.
Well, like they do that. So like Mia in 7, Chris in the DLC of 7, and then you had Rose in the DLC of 8.
Well, I mean, like
Chris in 8 too. You play as Chris for a bit too.
Yeah, and I mean, like in the early games, like you literally had 2 different campaigns. Like in one, you had Chris and you had Jill, and then the Resident Evil 2, it was Leon and Claire.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can see it to where you have like Grace Ashcroft being one scenario, and then Leon's another scenario, and
yeah, the moment when you're like play as like twisted, mutated fungal Leon, like I'm too old for this shit. You do like roundhouse kick a zombie. Well, because like Chris, remember or at least in like 7 and 8, he's like overpowered compared to Ethan. And so Leon being the overpowered character that you play in like halfway through,
Chris fucking punched a boulder.
Yeah.
In was it 5?
I think so.
I think it was 5. That was where Resident Evil kind of went. It's like, okay, hold up, wait a minute.
Yeah.
These are not fucking Super Saiyans. Stop. Whoa.
Yeah.
Chill.
And they referenced that in 8.
That was stupid.
The one guy is like, I'm gonna kill that boulder punching asshole.
But no, man,
they knew it was dumb. That's why they made fun of it.
I'm excited for this. Like I won't lie. Like and I'm not like I didn't even grow up playing Resident Evil. It's not like when I was a kid I was playing Resident Evil on my PlayStation and stuff. I got into Resident Evil much later. Like, I like when they started coming out with like the 1 remake and the 2 remake, like that's when I started getting into Resident Evil. But I fell in love with the series once I started playing it.
Yeah, I'll watch people play it. I'll experience all the lore and stuff from videos and stuff. I don't play myself. That one, like I said, I don't do the spookies. And that one house in 8 with the puppets and the giant fucking monster baby.
Yo, God. Oh my God. Yeah.
I'm never touching that thing.
Goo goo gaga, motherfucker.
You take your weapons away and you just gotta hide from it. Ugh.
That's one of the reasons why I love it, man. I love being scared shitless.
I watched a guy play that was like a new father too. So it's like he's terrified.
Oh wow. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, I can imagine.
It's like that's like your Silent Hill right there. That's like.
But no, man, Yeah, I started getting because like when the remake started coming out, I was like, okay, you know what? I kind of missed out on this series when it was first coming out. Let me see what Resident Evil is all about. And I fell in love with it. But I'm excited for this. I can't wait for this. It's gonna be some good shit. But yeah, I think that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for tonight. Overall, I mean, Summer Game Fest, like I've heard some people say it was a hit, some people say it was a miss. I think it really just depends on what you came there for. Overall, like just in general, I would say, you know what, it was alright. It wasn't the worst thing ever. It was alright.
I saw a lot of tweets that were like, "Oh, like the state of play was mid until the Marvel game was announced." And it was like, "Oh, Summer Game Fest kind of sucked." But then Resident Evil came out of nowhere. You know, it's like it was basically like everyone got like one. I was like, yeah, you know. But I feel Gamescom we're gonna get some stuff, but that's all the European people. That'll be later anyway. But we might get down the line. We might get something, but who knows?
Yeah.
What's the next? What's the next big thing?
I guess.
Awards, isn't it?
What now?
It's like Game Awards, isn't it?
Well, unless
anymore.
I mean, there's Tokyo Game Show.
Tokyo Game Show, yeah, but that I mean, we're not. They only get so much there. Like that's all.
Yeah, it's not as big as it was back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it would be the Game Awards.
Yeah, it's just like a. Isn't that winter? Like
oh yeah, it's in December.
December. That's not too far. I'm sooner than you think.
I mean, if you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, I'm looking at D23 this year. We'll see.
They gotta save something for something. You're not gonna show it. You're not gonna show it Tokyo Game Show. You're not gonna show it D23. You know, you gotta show something good first at Game Awards, and then.
Oh, I don't think they're gonna do Kingdom Hearts 4 at the Game Awards. Square Enix doesn't usually have a big presence there.
No, usually it is like I think Tokyo Game Show is when they do something.
Yeah, it's usually Tokyo Game Show, and then with Kingdom Hearts, D23.
Or they just they drop it. Where was the 4 trailer first shown?
They had a special event just for Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, so that's they might just
because it was the 20th anniversary, and it was a Square Enix thing. But like Kingdom Hearts 3 was at various D23s throughout its development.
Yeah, that's
why I'm saying like the next chance I think for Kingdom Hearts news is going to be D23.
When's that at?
I want to say September. D23. Let me see here. It is
August 29th.
August 29th. Okay.
It's pretty soon. That's about when Gamescom will be happening.
Yeah, that's when I think we have another chance for it. Legitimate chance. So we'll see. But I think that's gonna do it. Thank you, Wizard. Appreciate it. Dragon Man, appreciate it. Ruby, appreciate it. Don't know what's up with all y'all's audio. My God, y'all got to get that shit fixed. But I appreciate y'all showing up nonetheless. Appreciate Liam in the chat. Appreciate Victor that was in the chat earlier. Who else was in the chat? Cynic was in the chat, being his usual trolling self.
Got his mod wrench and left.
Yeah. You know what he did? I can take that away at any point.
Take it away from him. Fuck it. Take it away.
I can take that away at any point, Cynic. I want you to remember that, motherfucker.
You ain't even here watching. That's the other problem.
Yeah, how can you be a mod when you're not even here? Yeah. Piece of shit.
I don't think I'm even a mod here, actually.
Post in the chat. I'll make you a mod.
No, I have to open up my thing.
I can't do it unless you post in the chat.
Because normally, like, I don't think I'm a mod on any of your channels.
Let's see. I got to switch over to my other YouTube account, though. I got to switch over to my gaming account. I'm on my other account.
The Kingdom Hearts 4 is coming at the D23.
Maybe that's the next opportunity for it to show up.
Confirmed.
No, don't.
If it is not there, send all your
Don't you spread that shit.
exclusive. JeskerJames news exclusive.
No, I don't know shit. I have gotten very little. I've gotten very little. You are now a mod, sir.
There you go.
I have gotten very little inside information when it comes to gaming. I do remember when the rumors about the Switch were going around. Somebody in my family, and I mean, it might not matter now if I. Well, I'm not going to dox them. Fuck it. But somebody in my family did work in with the technology sector. I got to be very careful how I put this. And they were working on stuff for the next Nintendo console. Did not have a name or anything, but they did tell me, yes, all the rumors about it being a handheld home console hybrid, that's true. That it's going to be below the Xbox One in terms of power. And that it's going to use cartridges. So I had an inside source on that, but I don't get a lot of inside sources. Maybe once I get big, maybe I will. But and even then, if you have an inside source and you want to share information, you got to be very careful, because if you reveal names, identities, or even things that they can use to trace people on these insiders will not work with you ever again. So you got to be very careful how you handle that stuff.
Yeah. Just post it on 4chan.
Yeah. Post it on 4chan and then let it spread like wildfire. But I think it's going to do it for tonight. I appreciate everybody. Game Awards, again, is all right. It wasn't the greatest thing ever. Wasn't the worst thing ever. It did all right.
So all right, you forgot what it was called.
What'd I call it?
It said Game Awards.
Fuck. Summer Game Fest. Yeah, it all right. You know what? Game Awards, they probably be all right, too. All right. Yeah. We out. All right. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.